Okay, now for the final part, we're going to do our 3 trees. 1, 2, 3, our ground, and then some rocks, and we're going to do some highlights using our fingernail. Also, you can blend these rocks into the grass by using your fingertip like that, and it's a lot of fun. So let's begin. Now, one of the hardest things, I should show you this, is trying to get this effect. Even I can't always get that, and we'll be using our scrap paper a lot to help us get the right mix, but we might not be able to do it, but we just do our best. So this is a bit too watery. Use some tissue, wipe up the excess. Okay, then let's get some paint, mix that up. It helps so much having scrap paper, so let's just practice up here. Yeah, to get this effect with the trees, you really want the brush flat, going down flat. Even then doesn't always work if the mix is too wet, which this is. So I'm drying it a bit on some tissue. Yeah, that's not too bad. So, ooh, what's that? Okay, so our ground is going to be about here, because we want to see some of this faded mountain, and my tree is going to begin about here, and it's going to come down and get thicker. So let's make it a bit thicker, and then we're going to have little branches sticking out like this. And then let's see if this works. Add a bit more pigment. Let's just go. Ooh, didn't like that. It can be very frustrating. That's better. Yeah. Not too bad. I think really I needed it a bit stronger. Ideally, you should do these just one time. Yeah, okay. Like that. That's done. And then let's do another one. I've got to do this. Sorry. I just looked and I realized it's not really strong enough. Okay, there we go. Now let's do the next one, which will begin about here and get wider. Ooh, it's a bit too wide, but you've just got to jump in and try and hope and pray. Okay. So there we go, using the brush flat, not like this. That might work if you're very quick, moving quickly across. And then let's have 1 or 2 branches sticking out like that. Okay, and then our final one. Okay, about here. It's a bit too close to the edge. Okay. And that final one worked out, I was going to say fairly okay, but let's see. Yes, fairly okay. I'm not sure about the other two. Maybe they'll do. Use fingertip. Just blend it. Okay. Then some branches again. I really like these. Need to make that a bit stronger. It really needs to stick out from the sky. This one too, a bit more. That'll do. Okay, now let's do the ground. This took way too long, but there you go. Now the ground, you can do it just like this. And that perhaps is the best way to do it. Just a kind of dry brush effect. But you can also do this. You can flick the brush up like that. And that's what I'm going to do today. Have to be careful. It can sometimes look a bit cheap. And this technique can look a bit more sophisticated or just a bit more natural. I'm not sure what. Whereas this technique can look a bit childish if you get it wrong. And you have to be careful not to do what I'm doing, which is going up higher and higher and higher. I got some really long hairs there for some reason, but I think it passes the test. It's okay. Now I'm just filling in around here, and it is quite thick, which means it will dry fairly quickly, but that's good because I'm going to do my fingernail technique here, and you need it to be dry-ish when you do that. In fact, I think I could almost do it now. But I've got to add my rocks, and they really need to stick out, so pure paint. And here we go. Not too bad. And these rocks, you don't really want too many of them. We don't even need them, but it's fun. And looks a bit more interesting, I think. In Japan also you sometimes get that on a mountain, you get grass and rocks. This combination. have to be careful not for it to look too similar. Or to be too regular. So I'm just going to use my fingertip to blend that a bit into the grass. It's also given me an idea of how wet the paper is. I think it's still a bit too wet for fingernail mark. But it's not too bad a painting. But if I'm going to be critical, these trees really needed to be stronger, I think. They actually look quite good on the video. I'm just looking at it now, but as I look at the painting, I think they needed to be a little bit stronger in tone. But quite a nice painting. While we're waiting for that, one more tip as well. The way I did this sky was quite tricky for a beginner because it was all wet into wet, and it's good practice and it creates a lovely soft sky. But what I might show you later is how to do it much more easily, and I'll try and explain it now. Basically we do a gradated, or I don't even know how you say it, graded, I'll just say graded, a graded sky. So beginning with white paper, just water, then getting slightly darker and then even more darker at the bottom, and then just leave that to dry. And then we can do our second wash. Well, not wash. You can wet the whole paper and then go over with stripes, or you can leave it dry and then go over it with stripes, and then when it's dried go over it with water and soften it, and then do that a third time, and that will give you 3 layers for your sky. I hope that's understandable. You can see the 3 kind of layers here, 1, 2 and 3, almost. So I hope that was understandable. That would have been an easier way to have done the sky rather than to have done it all in one go. Okay, I think this should be, I'm not sure it's ready yet, but let's try. That looks pretty good. Just wait a few moments, because if it's too wet it will just disappear. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, you have to clean your fingernail, else you're dragging paint back into the paper. Well, I'm quite happy with this. Use another finger. This is actually a lot of fun, and it's easy to do too much, which is what I'm doing, and we'll stop there. And there we go. Look at me, just carrying on. Okay, I'm going to stop there. So there it is, we've done it, and maybe I might just do a quick video to show you how to do the sky that I was talking about in the easy way. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Please have a go and let me know how you get on. Happy painting.